Since the earliest days of human civilization, societies have tried to maintain order through rules and systems of justice. As people progressed, they built laws to protect communities and punish wrongdoing. Yet, hidden within the long history of these legal systems are accounts of punishments so harsh and unsettling that they are difficult to comprehend. Every day, crimes occur across the world, and each society responds with its own system of penalties. Among all forms of punishment, the most severe and irreversible has always been the death penalty. Once carried out, it leaves no room for correction, no chance to undo a mistake. However, throughout history, certain methods were designed to send a message, to instill fear, to demonstrate authority, and push the boundaries of endurance. Many of these methods now stand as dark reminders of how far humanity has gone in the name of justice. In this documentary, we explore methods that reveal a chilling side of human history and force us to question the limits of power. One of the most widely discussed execution methods in modern history is the electric chair. Developed as a supposedly more humane alternative, it quickly became one of the most controversial. In this process, the individual would be strapped tightly to a solid wooden chair, ensuring that there was no movement. Heavy metal electrodes were attached to different parts of the body, including the head and legs. A damp sponge was placed on the head to help conduct electricity more efficiently. Once everything was prepared, a powerful electric current, often reaching around 2000 volts, was passed through the body. The intensity of the current would overwhelm the nervous system instantly, leading to a rapid loss of consciousness. In practice, the reality was often far more disturbing. In several cases, the first surge of electricity was not enough. This required multiple shocks to complete the execution. Witnesses described the scenes as deeply unsettling. The visible physical reactions left a lasting impression on all who observed them. Another method that became infamous is execution by gas. This technique is remembered as one of the most distressing chapters in modern history. The prisoner was placed inside a sealed chamber, isolated from the outside world. Beneath the chair, a chemical substance would be introduced. This would react to produce a toxic gas. As the gas filled the chamber, the individual inside would begin to inhale it. The effects were not immediate. As the gas entered the body, it would attack the respiratory system, causing intense discomfort. Breathing became increasingly difficult, and the process could take several minutes before death occurred. Because of the prolonged suffering, this method was widely criticized and eventually abandoned in many places. Yet its history remains a powerful reminder of the darker side of institutional punishment. Looking further back in time, one of the oldest known methods of execution is death by stoning. This form was used in ancient societies and was reserved for offenses considered morally or socially severe. The accused would be restrained, so escape was impossible. A group would then gather and begin throwing stones. The process continued until the individual succumbed. What made this method particularly disturbing was its public nature. It was not just an execution, it was a spectacle intended to serve as a warning to others. The collective participation reflected how punishment was sometimes carried out by the community itself. Another widely recognized method is execution by gunfire, often carried out by a group known as a firing squad. This approach has been used in many parts of the world. Typically, the condemned person would stand in a fixed position. A group of armed individuals would line up at a distance. Upon receiving a signal, they would fire simultaneously. The intention was to bring about a quick death, but the outcome depended on accuracy and coordination. In some cases, the process was carefully structured to ensure that responsibility was shared among the shooters, reducing the psychological burden. Despite being seen as more direct, it still carries a heavy emotional and ethical weight, both for those who witness it and those who carry it out. Among the most horrifying punishments ever recorded is the practice of removing a person's skin while they were still alive. This method stands out not only for its brutality, but also for the prolonged suffering it inflicted. The process was carried out slowly, often using sharp instruments with the intention of extending the duration of pain. It was not merely about execution, it was meant to demonstrate absolute control and power. Historical records suggest that this method was sometimes used as a warning to others, reinforcing authority through fear. The psychological and physical torment involved made it one of the most feared punishments of its time. Over the centuries, as societies evolved, many of these methods were abandoned or replaced. In the modern era, newer approaches have been introduced, often with the intention of reducing visible suffering. One such method involves the use of carefully measured substances administered into the body to bring about death. Even so, the debate surrounding capital punishment continues. Questions about morality, human rights, and justice remain relevant. These historical methods remind us that punishment has not always been about fairness or rehabilitation. In many cases, it was about control, fear, and the demonstration of power. As we look back at these dark chapters, we are forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. Progress has come at a cost. Understanding that history is essential if we are to build a future that values humanity above all else.